Hi everyone, I'm Olivia Thompson. That chaotic scene? That was my wedding day. Buckle up while I tell you the whole story. At 28, I'm a marketing executive who was over the moon about marrying James, my software engineer boyfriend of 5 years. We were crazy in love. But there was one small problem: his family. Sophia, if Patricia makes one more backhanded comment about my dress choices, I might actually lose it. I groaned, collapsing onto my best friend's couch. Deep breaths. Lev, you're marrying James, not his family, Sophia reminded me, handing over a glass of wine. I know, but Patricia and Rachel act like they own him. It's like they can't handle the idea of him having someone else in his life. I vented. Have you told James how you feel? Yes, but he just brushes it off, saying they're excited about the wedding. He doesn't see how weird they're acting, I muttered. I tried to include Patricia and Rachel in the wedding planning, hoping it would ease the tension, but instead, it seemed to fuel their controlling tendencies. One afternoon, I showed Patricia some centerpiece ideas. Oh, darling, those are cute, she said with a dismissive glance, but Rachel and I have better options. I clenched my teeth and chose not to argue, telling myself it wasn't worth the fight. Still, their behavior became stranger with each passing week. One day, I overheard them whispering in the kitchen. Are you sure about this, Mom? Rachel asked nervously. Of course, it's going to be perfect. James will adore it, Patricia replied. When I stepped into the room, they immediately stopped talking. Oh, Olivia, we were just discussing cake flavors, Patricia said with an overly sweet smile. I played along but couldn't shake the uneasy feeling. Later that evening, I brought it up to James. James, I think your mom and sister are planning something. They're acting so secretive, I said. He just laughed. They're probably organizing a surprise for the wedding. Don't overthink it. I wanted to believe him, but my gut told me something wasn't right. As the wedding day approached, Patricia and Rachel's behavior only became more suspicious. They canceled meetings, made vague excuses, and kept assuring me everything was under control. The night before the wedding, Sophia stayed over to keep me company. I can't believe I'm getting married tomorrow, I said, equal parts excited and nervous. Sophia squeezed my hand. You're going to be amazing. Don't let their antics ruin your big day. You're right. This is about me and James, I said, trying to convince myself. When I woke up the next morning, butterflies filled my stomach. This was the day I'd dreamed of, becoming Mrs. Carter. Sophia burst into the room, already dressed in her maid of honor gown. Rise and shine, Liv. It's your big day, she cheered. I smiled, trying to focus on the excitement, but as I got ready, I couldn't stop wondering what Patricia and Rachel were up to. When the ceremony began, I felt a surge of emotion seeing James waiting for me at the altar, but as I walked down the aisle, my smile froze. There they were, Patricia and Rachel, standing near James, both in white gowns that closely resembled my wedding dress. Whispers rippled through the crowd, and I felt the blood drain from my face. James looked horrified, but before I could process what was happening, the minister began the ceremony. At the reception, I pulled James aside. Did you know about this? I asked, my voice tight with anger. No, Lev, I swear I had no idea, he stammered. Before I could respond, Patricia's voice rang out. Wasn't it wonderful? James wanted us to feel special too, she declared, beaming. Isn't it great, Olivia? We're practically sisters now, Rachel chimed in smugly. I looked at James, desperate for him to defend me, but he just stood there, speechless. Sophia appeared at my side and guided me outside for some air. How could they do this? And how could James let it happen? I cried. We'll figure it out, Sophia assured me. Just then, my phone buzzed with a text from Emma. OMG, you won't believe what I overheard Patricia saying. I looked at Sophia, a fiery determination building inside me. This isn't over, I said, wiping my tears. Back at the reception, I plastered on a fake smile, determined not to let them win. Patricia and Rachel might think they've outsmarted me, but they have no idea what I'm capable of. The morning after, I confronted James in our hotel suite. James, we need to talk, now. He sighed. looking weary. Lev, I'm so sorry. I didn't know what they were planning. But Patricia said you wanted. She said you wanted your favorite women in the spotlight. I shot back, my tone laced with biting sarcasm. That's ridiculous. I never said anything like that. I'm just as blindsided as you are. Though I wanted to trust him. Lingering doubt gnawed at me. Then why didn't you say something at the reception? You just stood there, doing nothing. I was stunned. I couldn't process that my own mother and sister would pull such a stunt. He replied, his face a mask of regret. Frustrated, I paced the room, my wedding gown abandoned in a heap on the floor. This isn't just about a dress, I said sharply. This is about your family constantly sabotaging us. I know, he murmured, running a hand through his hair. Look, let's call off the honeymoon. We need to focus on getting to the bottom of this. I nodded, already texting Sophia. It's time to start digging. Over the next few days, Sophia and I channeled our inner detectives, scouring social media for anything suspicious. Check this out, Sophia said one afternoon, holding up her phone. A cryptic post from Rachel caught my eye. Operation Whiteout is underway. Mom's brilliant plan is foolproof. Operation Whiteout? Are you kidding me? I snapped, my anger bubbling over. Our investigation deepened, and soon we turned our attention to James's family's business records. Something wasn't right. James, can you explain these numbers? I asked, showing him the financial statements. His brows knit together as he reviewed the papers. This doesn't add up. There's missing money here. As we delved further, a disturbing pattern emerged. Patricia and Rachel had been embezzling funds from the company for months. This can't be real, James muttered, his face ashen. Then came the breakthrough. Emma, one of my bridesmaids, sent me screenshots of texts she'd managed to capture during the wedding. Lev, you need to see these ASAP, her message read. The texts revealed everything. Patricia and Rachel's detailed plot to sabotage the wedding and drive a wedge between James and me. Patricia, when we show up in those dresses, Olivia will freak. James will finally see how unstable she is. Rachel, what if James gets mad at us? Patricia, he'll get over it. We're his real family. She's just a passing phase. I handed the phone to James, my hands trembling. She called me a phase. James. He looked devastated. I can't believe this, all of it. For a moment, we sat in silence before I spoke again. We need a plan. They can't get away with this. James nodded, his expression steely. You're right. Let's do this the smart way. We need concrete evidence of the embezzlement, I said, pacing the room. I'll contact a forensic accountant, James offered. They'll be able to trace the missing funds. I called Sophia, putting her on speaker. Soph, we're setting a trap. Can you help? Over the next hour, we crafted a strategy. The goal, confront Patricia and Rachel with undeniable proof of their schemes. We need to record them admitting their involvement, I suggested. My determination solidified. James reached for my hand. No matter what happens, we'll face it together. I squeezed his hand, nodding. Always. They picked the wrong couple to mess with. As the sun set, we finalized the plan. Tomorrow, the reckoning would begin. The confrontation day arrived, and my heart raced as James and I entered his family's home. Tucked under my arm was a folder filled with damning evidence. Mom, Rachel, we need to talk, James said, his tone firm but calm. Patricia smiled sweetly. Of course, dear. What's this about? I laid the financial records on the table. Let's start with the company's missing funds. Rachel turned pale, while Patricia scoffed. I have no idea what you're accusing us of. Without a word, James played the audio recording of their wedding sabotage plans. The room went deathly quiet as their own words played back to them. Patricia's expression turned venomous as she glared at me. You sneaky little. James, are you seriously siding with her over your family? James stood firm. No, Mom, this is over. I won't tolerate it anymore. Rachel suddenly broke down, sobbing. It was all Mom's idea. She made me do it. Patricia recoiled, scandalized. How dare you turn on me, Rachel? The room erupted into chaos, with the two hurling accusations at each other, their years of deception unraveling before our eyes. James, his voice heavy with emotion, spoke at last. "I'm done. You're both out of my life." We left the house, feeling a mix of relief and sorrow. Together, we decided to start fresh in Seattle. In the months that followed, I launched my own marketing firm, while James focused on healing and reconnecting with his father, who had long been overshadowed by Patricia's dominance. One bright afternoon, James burst into our apartment, his phone in hand. "Liv, you won't believe this." He showed me the news. The family business had collapsed due to the embezzlement, and Patricia and Rachel were facing legal charges. I hugged him tightly. "How do you feel?" A bittersweet smile crossed his face. "Relieved, I think." As our first anniversary approached, we chose to renew our vows, this time surrounded by true friends and loving family. Under a floral arch in our backyard, James and I exchanged promises anew, our bond stronger than ever. Later, as we swayed to the music beneath the stars, I caught Sophia chatting with James's dad. She gave me a thumbs up, and I smiled. We had endured the storm and emerged stronger, free of toxicity. Resting my head on James's shoulder, I knew we could handle anything the future threw our way, together. If you were in Olivia's position, would you have forgiven Patricia and Rachel, or do you think cutting ties was the right call? Have you ever had to choose between forgiveness and protecting yourself from toxic family dynamics? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could make a difference for someone else. Enjoyed this story? Don't forget to like and subscribe to hear more tales of resilience and triumph. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.